So how to create heat maps using QGIS from 0 to hero. So we want to download the latest version of QGIS, that's 2.18.2, and this is the page where you should be able to find appropriate instructions for your device. In my case I'm using Ubuntu 16.04, and that's just a matter of adding those links to trusted source list, and after that click open terminal and just copy paste those two commands. I will add all of those links in video comments, so no worry, don't need to save. After that is done, we open QGIS, and it's, as we can see, 2.18. I already have some projects, so let's close that, click new project, and next thing that we come to is tile servers. So I basically have already 2 tile servers, as you can see, but you will need to add those 2 on your own. I'll add links to those layers on video comments or whatever, but here's how you do it. You just click new connection and you will copy the links that I gave there. So since we'll be doing maps, I'll make 3 layers, heat maps. I'll make 3 layers for the stuff that we need. We'll make one and call it base layer. Second we'll call crumbs or points, let's say. Point. And this will be for heat maps. It's a bit cold here, so I'm missing the keyboards. You want to make it in this order, so heat map on the top, points, base layer. Basically the reason why you want to do it like that is how layers will overlay each other later on, so try to keep it this way. Now we want to add a text file. So since we have CSV, we want to use the comma one, but there are different types of import that you can do, but for CSV this is the one. Click on it, make sure this one is checked, and layer name we'll call it just crumbs, and click OK. For CRS we want to use qgis-84 because that's the CRS that our data is. And as you can see, there we are, we have our point crumbs. I'll change the color for those. Basically I'll put it to blue since I plan to make our maps from green to red, so green wouldn't really work the best. Click apply, and as you can see they're now blue. Now we want to import heat maps, and yes, let's put the crumbs in the points group, so those are there. And now we want to import heat maps. So how we're going to do that? In general there's a plugin and it should be already pre-installed, but let's check if it's installed, and here it is. In my case it is. If it's not, just click heat and install it. Now go to raster, click heat map, and there we go. So input point layer is crumbs, so you can see it there. Output raster will be test 1000. Save. Let's wait. So basically depending on radius you'll have different clustering or different concentration of red. So let's start with 1000 and call that apt-get 1000 diff. I have already those, so I'll just use those. And you can see we have already our first map. We'll stay at that. There's a few other things that we should do, but basically let's do it right now. So we want to have transparency set somewhere between 30 and 40, simply because we want to be able to see our crumbs beneath. And other thing that what we want to do is go to style, click single band pseudo color. I already have selected red, yellow, green, but you can take whatever you want. I'll stick to it and click apply, and we have it like this already. So let's get a few more other layers, and so we would have more options to look at. We will do 2.5, let's do it to 2.5, save, and click OK. And here it is, all black, but we'll fix that later. For all of those, let's do this, let's make it 5. So I already have those files, but you'll have to make new files, so just have that in mind. And then we go to, so let's go to 10,000 units radius, and click save, replace, and let's, okay, and let's add one more, let's say 15,000, so you can notice the difference. Save, place, okay. So as you can see right now, those heat layers aren't letting anything else show up. That's why we want to set up in transparency somewhere around between 30 and 40. That's good enough to see, and also good enough not to overlay other things. So let's do that. Let's select. For each layer you will have to set up what you want to look at, and in our case I want to do single band pseudo color and click invert. If you click invert, it will go from green to red, otherwise it will go from red to green. So let's click apply, and if you see, so this one is still black, properties, single band pseudo color, let's click invert, apply, okay. Here, there we got one more, that's single band pseudo color, also set transparency to 35, 37 or whatever. Invert. Also you have some other settings below, but you really don't need to touch any of those for now, and let's click OK. So let's just check transparency of all of those layers. Not really all set up. Properties, I think that's edit, we set up all the so here we are. So right now if you select all of those, you will have kind of different overlays of the heat map. Now depending on what you want to leave, so those will show, so from 1000 to 15,000, the less the number is, the more concentration spots you have. So if you look at 1000, you'll see that there are many of the small concentration spots, but if you look at 15,000, you will see that it shows only the places where there are higher concentrations. So basically maybe 5,000 is good, and then for our project the less probably might be the better, because you will be able to identify spots like, I don't know, let's say this one. So there's some concentration around here, and when you click crumbs you'll see that there's something out there, and when you want to look at So let's disable that. So those are a few crumbs, and you will use this selection tool to see the crumb information, and this selection tool is to move around the map. So pretty much that's everything there is. You can save your project or save it as image and share it with someone, or export it, or whatever you want. And let's stop there. Thank you for listening.